I'll get calls at maybe like 6 and 9 o'clock at night, and, they're asking me about when I'm going to be in the area, when I'm going to do another workshop. But I'm really close to them, and I think this is like in this era that we're living in is basically social media, and I have to get better with that. So the only thing I have LinkedIn. I'm not on Twitter. I don't have Facebook. I don't have what's the other one? Instagram. I don't have any of it. So, but I do high school. We have phone conversations, or we might do video. So it's a little difficult because of what I do, but I just try to do the best that I can to stay in contact with them and talking them through whatever it is that they're looking for.
Yes, and that makes a lot of sense. And how many clients are you dealing with? And I mean, are the young ladies that you're dealing with, and is it all young ladies, or are you dealing with a combination of young ladies and guys? I know it's Divine Girls, so I imagine it's all ladies, but I imagine also because of their relationship, you may have to have some dealings with some guys every once in a while. So is it primarily the issues that you're dealing with having to deal with like teen pregnancy, or are you also finding that you're having to deal with kids that might be getting involved in gang stuff or drug stuff or things of that nature?
Well, I deal with teen girls and young women, and pregnancy is definitely on the that's very sensitive for me, and so that's why I try to catch them before they get to that point, but I don't omit the young women or teenagers that are pregnant. I ran into some guys. I've had several people on my LinkedIn family that were men and had children and wives, and that read my book and found that it was very helpful. So I run it. Actually, my ministry is not specifically for men, but I deal with children and boys.
Yeah, definitely. And when you've talked to these friends of yours that have read the book and everything, and if you could tell our listeners how they can get the book and also how they can reach out to you if there's like a certain website or things of that nature, and also what are some of the lessons that they have really told you that they really enjoyed learning from you and what you've been doing?
Well, my book is available on Amazon and also BarnesandNoble.com. And again, the name of the book is Being a Teenage Girl. And most of my girls are teenagers that have experienced the workshop. As I said before, it stems from changing the way that they think. And so it keeps them from going down a path of destruction because somebody actually took the time to talk to them and not judge them and help them where they are. Because, I'm meeting these girls where they are. Some of them are not teen moms, and some of them are teen moms. So this workshop has had an impact on these girls because I still keep in contact with them. Talk about school.
And how long do the workshops last? And how many students would you say you've reached out to so far?
Workshops last, the total hours is 4 hours. And I have, you said how many students? Or how many teenagers?
Yeah, how many students have you reached so far since the time you've been doing the workshops, would you say?
I'll say about 60.
Okay. That's a good amount and everything, and still reaching out to more and more on a regular basis. But on average, how many are in each workshop?
On average, it's about maybe 15.
Okay. So 15 on average, and you've reached out about 60 so far. So you said that you've done the workshops in both Charlotte and in your hometown. Are there any other cities that you've done them, or are you looking at doing them up and down the East Coast? Are you looking at doing them nationally? What is the goal for the workshops?
Well, right now I've only done them in the Charlotte area and also in the Columbia area. And my long-term goal is to take it abroad, not just only in the Carolinas, but other places as well. But it's just me right now. I am my business. I represent my business.
So right now you're a one-man shop. You don't have anybody that's helping you in terms of, except for your LinkedIn family, that's helping you in terms of like the PR and things of that nature. It's basically a one-woman shop, but you are hoping to eventually grow into a bigger shop where you're not just doing the workshops yourselves, but you're helping other people and you have a staff of folks. At least that's the goal, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Absolutely. That is the goal. That is definitely the goal.
Cool. So if you stay on the line, I definitely want to see who else is on the phone call and everything, because I think I'm hoping Derek calls in, like you said, and I'm also hoping to have a young lady calling in
Mark
from
Lee.
California who's done a lot of, huh? Is that Derek?
Mark Lee. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Derek. Derek's on the line. How are you doing, Jack? As you can tell, we're involved in a number of things. I know you've been involved in a number of things for a number of years, including the Purpose-Driven University, which I understand that Ms. Jones went through that Purpose-Driven University, and I've known you to be a business advocate big time here in the Durham area. So tell us a little bit about what you've got going on, how long you're doing the Purpose-Driven seminars and things of that nature, and how you're coping with all the madness that's going on in the world right now.
Well, first off, I just want to tell you thank you for what you do, Mark. And you have been a music and entrepreneurship and community connoisseur for decades. So thank you for your struggle, brother.
Oh, no problem. Glad to do it. And you're right. Been doing it for decades and many years, and going to try to continue to do it as long as I'm able to.
So listen, I think Nicole is one of the best examples that we've had come through Purpose University. She's a single mother. She works full time, but there's something in her spirit that says my life is bigger than this, and my purpose in life is bigger than this. So what she did was she took our class, PUR 501, Finding Purpose. The class now for COVID-19 is actually free.
Oh, wow.
The class is free because we want people to stay home and take the class.
Right.
And you can get the class on the mobile app Purpose University. It's in your app store. It's in the Google Play Store. And you can also get the class on the website learnpurpose.teachable.com. So learnpurpose.teachable. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I was going to say, and I do want you to continue with the website and everything, but I'm finding that more and more people are probably trying to have a grip with what their purpose is because of the crisis that we're in, because I think more and more people are, you hate to put it this way, but it's not the first time that a crisis has happened in the world. Maybe it's been a number of decades since we've had a pandemic, but it's been not other crises that have not happened around the world, whether it was 9/11, whether it was whatever that has happened, Katrina, whatever. And a lot of times when these things happen, that's when people find themselves having to redefine themselves. And I think that that's what a lot of people are having to do right now is redefine themselves, redefine how their work is being done. Like you just talked about the fact that y'all are doing it free right now, but a lot of people are coming into the houses now and having meetings in the house because they don't want to go to the office. I mean, that may change eventually if we go back to the old form of economy. But I've talked to friends of mine, even talking about the university model. And they're talking about, like, the academic, like, college model. And they're thinking that this whole thing may eventually just change that model even, because there's some people in that world that are theorizing that the day of the going to college in the traditional college way may be coming grinding to a halt. I don't know that I'm ready to radicalize it that far, but I have heard that theory out there that we may see even more online kind of education and things. So I was just wondering what some of your thoughts were along those lines as you've been watching what's going on. And one thing I know about you, Derek, is that you're an observer of life.
You know, Mark, I think that you're right. I think that just like we had a post-9/11 world, you're going to have a post-coronavirus world. And as far as what my mission is and what I want people to be doing in this time is to take advantage of the silence. You know, our lives normally are really busy.
Right.
And it's so busy we can't even hear our own spirit.
Mm.
But the rare people like Nicole and like yourself who are doing their purpose in life are people who can hear the busyness and the noise of life but they can also hear their spirit and say, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I think the reason we moved the course from $99 down to free is because we want more people in this time to do what their spirit is telling them to do. Help more people.
And that makes a lot of sense because we are seeing more people that are doing things that are helping people on a regular basis. And you're right, it's causing people to even observe what's around them. Because as you know, and I've had this conversation with you in the past, definitely had it with Dean, my co-host. I try to observe even what's happening around Mother Nature. And I was actually having a conversation with my dad, who's a well-known artist and an advocate of people around the community as well, and has been doing it even longer than I have. Since he's going to hit the big 8-0 later on this year and everything. But even in the conversations I've had with him, I was amazed at the observation that because we're all being driven inside and because that opens up the world to Mother Nature is not blind to that. Because as I was telling Dad, I know it even happened today when I stepped outside for a hot moment. You know, before you step outside, you see a bird. What's the first thing a bird does? Bird flies away. Birds now, they're like, they know that you're only going to be out there for a limited amount of time. So they're actually like chilling. They're not like running away. Or if they run away, it's like just a little short hop. They're not like scampering the way that they used to do because they also observe what's going on and see what's going on. At least that's one of my observations. And I made that point to him, and he was like, all right, you may be onto something because I just stepped outside and something similar happened to me.
Well, you know, I think even more importantly in what we learn from meditation is that normally our lives are so busy we don't see the bird.
Right. That's very true.
But now, because we're observing more, we see the bird, we see the trees, we hear the breeze, we see the bees, and God is allowing us to see the beauty of nature. I did want to say this because I heard your co-host a little earlier saying that I think he thinks it's a hoax. And, you know, I just want to make sure that we're all being responsible because even if it is a hoax, I don't want to die thinking it was a hoax and, it's not a hoax, you know. I don't want it to be where we're encouraging people to think it's a hoax and then they end up dying. And the news person that I've been watching closely is Rachel Maddow. And I know her recent show, she featured some pictures and a story of a person that works for NBC, a black older gentleman who recently died from the coronavirus.
Oh, wow.
His pictures there, his stories there, his narrative there. And as she's closing her newscast, she's crying because a person that she actually knew died from this disease. So, you know, I just want us to be cautious and cautiously responsible during this time that we're staying away from folks.
No, I can understand that. I think Dean can as well, but I'll let Dean speak for himself and everything. But I definitely can see where you're going with that. And I was actually the opposite, and not so much the opposite side of that, but the other thing that is going on, which I think Dean was also alluding to with some of the medicine, is that I was reading some Facebook posts, and, you know, the person that's currently in charge up there in D.C. was talking about this new medicine. And apparently there's some people that he's like saying it's doing wonderful. These tests are wonderful. The medicine is doing really well in the testing phase. But because he's giving it clearance and because he's saying it's doing well, there's some people that are seeing that as like a symbol to go ahead and take the drug. And there are some people that apparently have been dying because they're taking the drug, and they might be overdosing on the drug. They might be not doing it in the correct way. So, I mean, it wasn't clear as to why they were dying, but it did seem like they might have been taking too much heed to what he was saying in the sense of these new drugs being good, and it wasn't coming from the scientists. I mean, I'm sure the scientists, like, you know, Dr. Tony and them, they probably would have been like, you know, do it. This is the drug. This is where we're at. This is how we're dealing with it. This is what you should take if you're going to take it, and if it's a dosage amount or whatever, they would tell you what the dosage is. But because it was that person saying it, then we don't know the facts of what to do, and some people, you know, it's like cough syrup. You know, too much cough syrup can be deadly to you. So some people, they hear that they can take cough syrup. Some people get a little bit too happy with it.
Yeah, I don't think many people are taking their medicine